These are the steps to draw an Acme thread. So we've got our little cheat sheet down here that's going to help walk us through it. We've got our thread specification. It's a 2 3/4 to Acme. So 2 3/4 is our major diameter. So we're going to offset that. So half of 2 3/4 is 1 3/8. So we're going to offset 1 3/8 up and down. It helps if we have the right tool. Okay, 1 3/8 up and down. Okay, up and down. So now let's just trim this out. So my thread is like 3 inches long, and then we've got the major diameter in there. So now let's change some layers. We'll make it all on the object layer. Okay, let's look at our thread. It tells us it wants us to offset half P. Pitch is 1 over the threads per inch. So we're going to offset half P all the way across. We're going to offset half P down, half P up, and then 1/4 P up and down. So half of the pitch, half of 1/2, because pitch is 1 over the threads per inch, is 1/4. So we're going to offset 1/4 all the way across. And then we're going to offset 1/4 down and up. We need to offset 1/4 P. So we're going to offset 1/8, because half of a half is 1/8, 1/8. Okay, so now that we have this laid out, we're going to put in our angles. So the angles form a 30 degree. So I want to be able just to pop these angles in quickly. So I'm going to use my construction angle command, and this angle is 75 degrees. This angle is 105, right? The degrees of a circle. If 90 is straight up and I'm going 15 to the right or 15 to the left, you add that or take it away from 90, and that's going to give you those angles. So we're going to use our construction line command. Click construction line, right mouse click, angle. I'm going to put in 75. See how that's attached? And I'm going to put it at the intersection. See where I'm putting this? Not up at the top, not at the bottom. I've got to put it at that intersection of that 1/8 line. Pop that in. Go back to your construction line, right mouse click, angle 105, and pop in the next angle. Okay, so let's trim this out now that we have the angles. This is all we need, just those two little angles at the intersection of that 1/8 line. So let's take this and we're going to copy. So let's just grab that intersection again, and now you're going to copy every other line. See how I'm popping this in, every other line across the top of that thread. Let's go ahead and grab this alternate angle here and pull it over here to the other side. Looks fantastic. So that gave us our roots and crest of this Acme thread. So now what I want to do is I want to copy and I'm going to copy this straight down. So if you want to grab it at this little intersection here and copy it straight down to the next intersection, that's what you do. You copy it straight down. Now, I don't need all of these offset lines that I use to make the part. So I can actually highlight and erase these lines. Now you need to trim out to show your thread. So rule of thumb, trim the wide part. Okay, so trim the wide part. See? Everywhere that it's a wide part, and that will give you your roots and crests of this thread. Same thing at the bottom. Trim the wide parts. So if I just trim out the wide part, that will give me the corresponding root and crest for the top as well. See, look at that. Now you're going to connect root to root and crest to crest. So I start somewhere in the middle just because that's easy to do. So I'm going to draw a line from crest to crest. This is a right-handed thread. Notice how it tilts. Crest to crest, root to root, root to root. Look at that. So now you can just take this and copy. You can copy this, see, and get rid of what you don't need. And there is your Acme thread.